A couple of days ago, I came across a story on Twitter about some lady named Danuta Danielsson, who became famous back in like 1985 or something for swinging her handbag at a neo-Nazi skinhead marcher in Sweden or something. And there's a statue dedicated to her now and stuff like that. I'm gonna read you the story. I saw it on Twitter, so I'm gonna read you the story. Just a second, hang on. Okay, statue of a woman named Danuta Danielsson in Sweden who became a hero in 1985. In 1985, during a march organized by the Nordic Reich Party in Wachau, Germany, a woman named Danuta Danielsson stepped out of the crowd and struck a neo-Nazi demonstrator with her handbag. The moment lasted only seconds, but it would become one of the most recognizable images of civilian resistance in modern European history. The photograph was taken by press photographer Hans Runesson and shows Danielsson mid-swing as the uniformed marcher recoils. It was not staged, symbolic, or planned. It was instinctive. Danielsson had no political platform, no organization behind her, and no intention of becoming a public figure. She was reacting in real time to the sight of open fascism marching through her city. Danielsson was the daughter of a Holocaust survivor who had endured imprisonment in a Nazi concentration camp. For her, the march was not abstract ideology or historical reenactment, it was a direct echo of lived trauma. Friends later said she was deeply affected by the demonstration and acted out of personal pain rather than political calculation. The image spread internationally and became a visual shorthand for everyday courage. A single unarmed civilian confronting hatred without permission or protection. In Sweden, the photograph entered textbooks, exhibitions, and public debate about resistance, memory, and moral responsibility. Decades later, a statue depicting Danielsson with her raised handbag was proposed and eventually installed near the site of the march. While some controversy surrounded whether she would have wanted the attention, the statue came to represent something larger than the individual. It honored the idea that resistance does not always come from leaders or movements, but from ordinary people refusing to stay silent in the face of hate. Danuta Danielsson struggled with mental health later in life and never sought fame for the act. Her family has emphasized that the moment should be remembered not as violence, but as a spontaneous human response to the return of an ideology that once destroyed her family. No surprise that this came from Reddit. The Twitter page, the X page that posted this is called Archaeo Histories. So, okay, so that was the story of Danuta Danielsson. And I think it's funny that white shitlibs are still going on about this like nearly 50 years later. Okay? And the funny thing is that, yeah, those guys were Nazi skinhead punks, but they weren't fucking doing anything, at least in that picture. I mean, they didn't even retaliate when she hit one of them. They could have. I'm surprised that they didn't. Maybe they were worried about being arrested, or maybe what she did just like shocked them that they couldn't react. But yeah, they didn't even do anything, not even after she hit one of them. And I actually looked up I actually tried to look up the people involved in that incident, and one of them, I forget his name. I think his name is Jacob Speluska or something. He was actually convicted sometime later for beating a gay Jewish teen to death. Um, so yeah, he's not a good person, obviously, but at least in that picture, none of them were fucking doing anything. And white shitlibs want to like keep talking about this like 50 years later, but they won't. They don't. Yeah, but they don't want. If somebody like Danuta Danielsson were to like stand up to like Arab and African invaders, they would be the ones being arrested. Like some girl got arrested for pepper spraying some migrant piece of shit who tried to rape her, and she got arrested because she used pepper spray against him. So Yeah, these people are insane. They want to applaud something that happened 50 years ago, but they don't want like white Europeans to like stand up to the Arab and African invaders of their countries. It's fucking bullshit.